Hey guys, here we are again with the finished Umbum bridge 3D puzzle. And I wanted to kind of show you guys, just what it looked like when it's done. Well, it's 99% done, I would say, 99%. The last 1% is I got to use a Sharpie. I'm going to Sharpie all these edges so that they're colored, so they blend better. And I did it with most of my other pieces. It just makes it look a little bit better. It doesn't change the model. It just gives it a bit of a better look. Here we are. Not as a fan of this as I thought I would be. It's not like the tavern or the wall. The wall was a little bit disappointing for its size versus cost, but that was my doing. That wasn't, it isn't what it is. It's just where I bought it, Now this one was a bit cheaper than the wall, and I got it on Amazon. But to me, this one seems a bit small in scale compared to the wall and the tavern. Now, I know it's supposed to be in scale. It's actually supposed to be the same scale as all the other buildings in the set, because they actually, I'll show you, it actually has stairs in here that are pretty much the same size as all the other stairs in all the other buildings, and I'll show you that in a second. But we have a little walkway here, but it's really thin. You can see I can barely get my finger in there. Okay, and here's one little guy, and his base barely fits in there, so you won't get a 25mm base in there at all. So this is definitely non-playable space, I mean, and that's the thing. The reason I bought it was for our Warhammer table, but what I'll wind up using it for, I probably won't use it for gaming because it's just not as conducive for gaming as some of the other pieces, although we can try. So I mean, here's the other side. And the bridge itself is barely big enough to hold this model. You can see its base, and this is kind of one of those weird bases I'm gonna get rid of, but you see it barely holds that. But you can put two of these guys side by side if you wanted to, but you can get a 25mm base on this part of the bridge. This piece here is just pressure fit in. It doesn't actually, it's not like it's slotted or anything, so it constantly pops out, and you can see that there. And I guess this was just like, it goes to the land, right here or whatever. There's a balcony in here. You can't put any miniatures in there. You can't even put the little standy guys in there. It's just too small. I think it's just a tad small, and even the buildings themselves, like, you can get a guy here, right? Like in the tower, the little watchtower or whatever, not shack or whatever. He looks like he fits, you see? But it's too small for a miniature. It's just not enough space to get a miniatures base there, Again, really cool, cool looking. And I will definitely be using these for photo opportunities. So when we do battle reports and things like that, I can put these things in the background, and they won't really take up too much space. There's a little balcony right there. Now, this does open up just like all the others. You can get that there, and you can get an interior shot. And you see there's the stairs there. Okay, they're a bit narrow. Obviously you can't get miniatures up there, but whatever, it's there, and it's got a second floor. But again, it's not conducive to actual miniatures. Maybe for Dungeons and Dragons you could squeeze by with it, maybe, but definitely not for wargaming like Age of Sigmar or Warhammer or anything like that. It's just too small. You can see though that ladder there is pretty, or that stairway is pretty much the same. They're the same. This one's just a little wider, but they're pretty much the same, like, so you know, it leads me to believe that it is in scale with all the other pieces. It just happens to be a really small version of it, like smallish version of it, I guess. And that just closes up right there, just like that. It stays in there, it's fit. And when you look at it next to this thing, it just, this tavern dwarfs it, you know. And I'm trying to find, where's the doorway at? There is a doorway here. Okay, there's a door on this. Yeah. So there's the front door right there for this building, and look at the size difference. I mean, that door is, I don't know, maybe halflings. Maybe it's a halfling bridge. That's the best way I could put it, because as you see, it's tiny compared to the rest of it. So I don't know if the rest of the sets have a scaling issue like this, but you know, it is what it is. Again, they're very cheap. I mean, it's under $15 shipped, so I can't really, you know, I'm using it outside of its intention, so I can't really, you know, I'm not going to really complain. I'm just going to put it out there that it is small. So when you guys, if any of you are watching this and think, okay, that's a pretty cool, I might get that for D&D, that's great. You know, that's what I'm advocating it for. But just know that it's on the small side, you know. So we'll get it on the turntable so you guys can get a better look at it. There's the bottom there. There's printing even on the bottom. That's so cool. But like I said, it's perfect for a background shot. You know, something just to see in the background. Let's see if we can get a little further away from this so you guys can see it better. There. Whoop. Oh, knocked down my background. So you see, photographically, I mean, it's great. You can take some really cool pictures, you know, and get some dynamic lighting in there and stuff, and you got yourself a cool scene, you know. But and you could do this like if you were doing miniatures, like you're doing, you know, photo shoots for miniatures and things like that. Boom, it's perfect. Drop it in the background and you're good to go. But yeah, as I said, as far as Warhammer and fantasy and all that stuff, probably not the best. Or maybe it's just a static piece that blocks line of sight, you know, which is most likely what it would be. But for Dungeons & Dragons, you could probably eke it out. You probably could make this a focal point for an encounter, which, you know, you just like most things, you just got to be conscious of your space, right? So you can't put a huge creature on that bridge, or even a large creature would probably be very tight on that bridge. But normal sized creatures probably can make the bridge. But there you go. That is the Umbum bridge from Russia. As always, guys, like, subscribe, share. If you have any experience with these, comment in the comment section below. No, I'm okay. I'm good to talk about it all. I don't mind chatting with you guys. And if you really want to have a conversation, head over to the Tabletop Dungeoneers Discord server. I'll put the guy right there. And, you know, tell them Zero sent you, and I'll know you saw this on my page, you know, or you found out about us on my page, and, you know, we can chat from anything, from Gundam models to RCs to Dungeons and Dragons to crafting scenery, things like that. But, yeah, as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. One more thing, guys, before I go, I forgot to mention that this also came with little standee figures, and just like the other ones, they're double-sided, or one, you know, they've got a picture on one side and the opposite picture on the other, which is kind of cool. This one seems to have more like mercenaries or townfolk, militia kind of thing. A little old dude. That's me. And yeah, these are pretty cool, but I didn't put them on their stand. Little monk dude. I don't trust this guy. Because I don't like the stands that they come with, the little styrofoam pads that you stick the guy. They're real floppy. They don't support the guys very well. So what I want to do is I want to get those clear plastic stands that they use for like the little plastic miniatures, like these, the same thing but in plastic. There's a company that makes them, and I'm gonna look into it and get a bunch of those for these guys. Just so that if I, just so I have them, if I want to use the townsfolk or something like that. So it's pretty cool. There's a front and a back to each miniature, and I like that. That's just a cool thing. It's just like the buildings, So there's a little kid there. This is the kid that always falls in the river. But all right, guys. As always, like I said, thanks for watching.